Welcome to the channel, Simple English Stories. This channel helps you improve your English. You learn by listening. You listen to real-life stories. Stories about famous people. Stories about success. Stories about failure. Stories about dreams. And every story is told with simple words and simple sentences. So you can relax, listen, and improve your English at the same time. Today we tell the story of a man who was rejected many times. A man who was poor. A man who almost gave up. But he had one powerful dream. His name is Sylvester Stallone. He created one of the most famous movie characters in history, a boxer named Rocky. But the road to success was very hard, very painful, and very long. This is the life story of Sylvester Stallone, and it proves one powerful idea. Your past does not decide your future. Chapter 1: A Difficult Beginning. Sylvester Stallone was born in 1946 in New York City. But his birth was not easy. During the birth, there were serious complications. Doctors used forceps, a medical tool. But something went wrong. The tool damaged nerves in his face. Because of this, part of his face became paralyzed. His lip dropped on one side. His speech sounded unusual. This is why Stallone speaks in a slightly different way. Many people later thought this voice sounded strong, unique, memorable. But when he was a child, it was not an advantage. Children laughed at him. Teachers thought he was slow. Life started with struggle. And this was only the beginning. His family life was also difficult. His parents argued often. There was a lot of tension. Finally, his parents divorced. Young Sylvester moved between homes. He often felt alone, lost, confused. But inside him, something was growing. A strong desire to prove himself. And one day, that desire would change his life. Chapter 2: A Young Man with Big Dreams. School was not easy for Stallone. He changed schools many times, more than 10 schools. Teachers called him a difficult student. But there was one place where he felt strong: the gym. Stallone loved training. He lifted weights. He exercised for hours. His body became stronger. And something important changed. His confidence grew. Later, he went to college. He studied drama. This was where he discovered acting. He loved movies. He loved storytelling. And he had a dream. He wanted to become an actor. But there was a problem, a big problem. Hollywood did not believe in him. Producers said his face looked strange. They said his speech was unusual. Some people told him, "You will never become a movie star." But Stallone did not stop dreaming. And very soon life would test his determination. Chapter 3: Rejected Again and Again. When Stallone moved to New York, he had almost no money. He lived in small apartments, sometimes very dirty apartments. Sometimes he slept in bus stations. Sometimes he had no money for food. He went to acting auditions, again and again. But most of the time, the answer was the same: no. One casting director told him his face looked like a villain. Another said his voice was strange. Another said he did not look like a hero. But Stallone continued trying, day after day, week after week, year after year. Here is an interesting fact. Before he became famous, Stallone had so little money that he sold his dog. Yes, his dog. He loved this dog very much, but he needed money to buy food. He sold the dog for only $40. It was one of the saddest moments of his life, but the hardest moment was still ahead. Chapter 4: The Lowest Point. In the early 1970s, Stallone was completely broke. He had almost nothing. No money, no acting jobs, no success. He later said he had only $20 in his bank account. $20. He felt like his dream was dying. But then something unexpected happened. One night, Stallone watched a boxing match on television. The fight was between Muhammad Ali and a boxer named Chuck Wepner. Wepner was not famous. Many people expected him to lose quickly. But something incredible happened. He fought bravely. He even knocked Muhammad Ali down. The crowd was shocked, and Stallone was fascinated. He saw something powerful, a fighter who refused to quit. And suddenly, an idea appeared, an idea that would change everything. Chapter 5: The Idea That Changed Everything. That night, Stallone went home. He started writing. He wrote a story about a boxer nobody believed in, a boxer from the streets, a man with one chance. His name was Rocky. Stallone wrote the script very quickly. Some stories say he wrote it in 3 days. The script was emotional, simple, powerful, and it felt real. Soon he started showing the script to movie studios. Some producers liked the story very much, but they had one condition. They wanted to buy the script, but they did not want Stallone as the actor. They wanted a famous star, maybe Robert Redford, maybe another big actor. They offered Stallone a lot of money. First $125,000, then $250,000, later even more. But Stallone said one word: no. He refused the money. He said, "I will sell the script, but I must play Rocky." The producers thought he was crazy, but Stallone did not change his decision, and this decision would soon change movie history. Chapter 6: The Risk That Made Him Famous. Finally, one studio agreed. They said yes, but with one condition. The movie budget would be very small, only about $1 million. For Hollywood, this was a very small movie, but Stallone did not care. He finally had his chance. Here is another interesting fact. After Stallone sold the script, he immediately searched for his dog. He found the man who bought the dog, and Stallone bought him back. Do you know the price? He paid about $15,000 for the same dog he sold for $40. The dog's name was Butkus, and the dog even appeared in the Rocky movie. Filming the movie was difficult. The team had little money. Sometimes they filmed scenes very quickly, but the energy was real, and soon the world would see something special. Chapter 7: Rocky Becomes a Legend. The movie Rocky was released in 1976. At first, nobody expected a huge success, but audiences loved it. They loved the story, they loved the character, and they loved Rocky. The movie became a massive hit. It earned more than $200 million worldwide, from a movie that cost about $1 million. But the biggest moment came later. At the Academy Awards, Rocky won 3 Oscars, including Best Picture. Sylvester Stallone was also nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Actor and Best Screenplay. Very few people in history have done this. From a poor actor with $20 to an Oscar-nominated star. But the Rocky story was not finished. In fact, it was only the beginning. Chapter 8: Life After Rocky. After Rocky, Stallone became one of the biggest stars in the world. He continued the Rocky story. Rocky II, Rocky III, Rocky IV. Millions of people watched these movies. But in the 1980s, another action star appeared, a strong man from Austria. His name was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Soon Hollywood had 2 huge action stars, Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Fans often asked one question: who is the bigger action hero? The competition between them became legendary. Stallone had Rocky, he had Rambo. Arnold had Terminator, he had Conan. Both actors wanted the biggest movies, the biggest audiences, the biggest success. Sometimes they even competed for the same roles. And this rivalry pushed both of them to work harder, to train harder, to make bigger action movies. During the 1980s and 1990s, their films dominated Hollywood action cinema. Explosions, fights, heroes who never gave up. But success in Hollywood never lasts forever. In the 2000s, some critics began to say something. They said Stallone was finished. They said his time as a movie star was over. But Stallone had heard this before. People had doubted him many times in his life, and once again he decided to prove them wrong. First, he returned to Rocky. In 2006, he released the movie Rocky Balboa. Fans loved seeing Rocky again. But Stallone had another idea, a crazy idea. What if he made one movie with many action legends together? Old-school action heroes, all in one film. That movie became The Expendables, and something amazing happened. Arnold Schwarzenegger appeared in the movie too. The two rivals from the 1980s finally shared the screen. The movie was a huge success. It brought back the feeling of classic action movies, explosions, big fights, and legendary stars. Suddenly, people were talking about Stallone again. The actor many critics had written off was back, and once again he proved something important. Never count him out. Because Stallone had spent his whole life doing one thing, proving people wrong. Chapter 9. Stallone. Today, Sylvester Stallone is a legend. He has made more than 50 movies. His films have earned billions of dollars, and millions of fans around the world love his characters. But even today, he still works. He still writes. He still acts. He still trains. In 2015, he returned again as Rocky, but this time as a mentor. The movie was called Creed, and something incredible happened. Stallone won a Golden Globe Award, almost 40 years after the first Rocky movie. His story had come full circle. But the most powerful part of his story is not the movies. It is the lesson. Final chapter. Believe in your dream. Sylvester Stallone's life teaches one powerful truth. Success is not about talent alone. Success is about persistence. He was rejected many times. People laughed at him. People told him he would never succeed. But he believed in his dream. Even when he had no money. Even when he sold his dog. Even when nobody believed in him. And because of that belief, the world received Rocky. A story about courage. A story about fighting back. A story that inspired millions of people. So remember this. Maybe your dream looks impossible. Maybe people doubt you. Maybe you feel like giving up. But the future is not written yet. Your story is still being written. One decision, one idea, one moment of courage can change everything. Just like it did for a young man from New York, a man with a strange voice, a broken start, and a powerful dream. Sylvester Stallone. And maybe one day your story will inspire the world too. Believe in your dream, keep moving forward, and never give up.